Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us. We would like to focus our presentation today on conflict and how it can strengthen and improve your team. There are a number of key topics we want to cover today. As we review our agenda, we will discuss the sources of conflict, the cost of conflict, both direct and non-direct. We're going to address the strategies to manage that conflict, in addition to how various behaviors can affect conflict. And finally, identifying why conflict is beneficial. Let's take a look at a team in conflict.
You guys, we are totally in trouble. Our first quarter earnings were down 20%. We are severely at risk.
Well, you're the one who wanted to try launching the new line of products. I told you it wasn't going to work.
Okay, Smarty Pants, you're the one with all the good ideas. What do you want us to do?
After watching that video, it may make you wonder where conflict comes from. Let's look at the sources. First, organizational conflict. This includes competition over resources, ambiguity over responsibilities, the status and competition among the team members, and even technology. Social conflict can be created through poor facilitation skills and poorly run meetings by the leadership. This, in turn, creates dissatisfaction in the team process. Hidden agendas can develop into a competition between members, all aspects that create conflict. And finally, individual conflicts generate consternation. This is highlighted through personalities, personal grudges, faulty communication, and a distrust among the members, which may be manifested through withholding true feelings and inappropriate criticism. What does conflict cost an organization? Bottom line, a lot. There are both direct and indirect expenses that should be acknowledged. First, the most obvious direct cost is absenteeism, which costs corporate America a stunning $3 billion per year. There's also the time and labor costs for retraining new employees and the internal time to manage conflict through human resources, security, and other management channels. In addition are the legal aspects due to workers' compensation and litigation settlements, as well as turnover and labor costs. And the very real aspect that people will quit, that the conflict is just too great to stay. Although not often thought of, indirect costs are also important to know. Morale and loyalty among coworkers can deteriorate, which can create a loss of respect for the leadership. This leads to a loss of productivity and quality. Employees can also damage the organization through withholding ideas, information, and skills. This can translate into a negative corporate reputation, and in the process to hire and retrain talented individuals becomes damaged. And this is a terrible cycle. There are many strategies to manage conflict. First, and most important, you must expect conflict. It occurs every day in every facet of your life. Knowing it will be there helps to manage it when it occurs. Second, having established norms for the group is important. Develop agreed-upon behaviors and expectations of the team. For example, you may not shout at each other, and we won't interrupt each other. Third, providing training on problem-solving skills will help individuals be aware of and manage certain situations. Fourth, use non-defensive communication and be smart. Choose your battles. Not everything has to be a fight. Fifth, something that is overlooked is looking for the right employees and team members. A team flourishes when there are different strengths and personalities. However, two traits that have been identified for those who manage conflict well are assertiveness and flexibility. Look for these characteristics. Lastly, understand that there are many factors that affect how people respond to conflict. Being aware and receptive to different styles can go a long way. One of the things you might wonder is, how do I implement this every day? There are many simple things to do, things that can change the dynamic of your team. Be aware of your nonverbal communication. Defensive posturing, eye-rolling, or other signs that display your frustration contribute negatively to the conflict. Use active listening. It is important to try first to understand, then be understood. Repeating what you heard someone say helps break down barriers and opens the other person to listening to your position. Another beneficial communication behavior is using neutral statements. Soften your tone and bring down both your blood pressure and your voice. And use I statements. For example, I get very frustrated when I can't access the data because it causes us to miss our deadline. This removes the attack on another. There are also interpersonal behaviors that can be employed. First, strengthen your relationships. Do this through team-building activities, spending time with each other, agreeing to norms, and encouraging creative solutions. Ask to be held accountable. This means that the focus should be on the performance or work product only. When evaluating only this aspect, it allows an unbiased view of the situation. Lastly, try replacing the word but with the words yes and. But implies a dismissal of what the person just said, but yes and is a building block. For example, yes, I understand, and I think we could incorporate this into the project. And finally, personal behavior. You are part of the solution and must act in that way. This can be done sometimes by simply walking away. Take a deep breath and regain your focus. Be committed to the problem at hand. Remind yourself of the goals in the project. Use this to help foster your interaction and build relationships with the other team members. Also, look forward. Stay focused on the outcome. Remember, most often these are short-term disagreements. Now, we have identified many skills and behaviors that can be employed to harness conflict productively. Let's see if our team can implement these and use conflict to change the outcome of their meeting.
Where were we?
Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, it was yours.
It was
Nice to see you guys.
Nice to see
Let's
you.
get down to work.
I know we had some challenges last quarter, so what I'd like to do today is talk a little bit about how we might be able to increase our earnings for next quarter.
Yeah, we were hoping that launching that new line was going to help us, but I think we're going to need to spend some time as a group to see if we really want to concentrate on that for next year.
So why don't we just go around the table then and see how each give our ideas about how we can improve.
You know, I think that's a great idea. Who wants to go first?
I would be happy to. I think that I've got some good ideas that the team has brought together.
I think you do.
After viewing our group, it looks like they understand that conflict is beneficial. Conflict can enhance a team through improved morale, greater creativity, identifying new approaches and ideas, striving for the best work product, and ensuring that the team is working toward and has the same vision and goals. This motivates individuals to better understand the issues and leads to fewer misunderstandings. Constructive conflict is a sign of a healthy team. So, become engaged and implement these ideas to help foster a stronger team that is achieving its goals.